What is going on, everybody? I am joined today by Mr. Ron Carter over in California. So yeah, today we're just going to be sort of touching on the topic of mindset and a few things that typically we see kind of like holding people back in the marketplace. So Ron, just want to kind of just like introduce yourself, just explain to people like who you are, what it is that you do.
Sure, absolutely. Would love to. First of all, thanks for having me, Andy. So like Andy said, my name's Ron, Ron Carter. I got started in the online space in late 2018, and um, just like a quick rundown, had a bunch of things that I tried that didn't really work out. But it's really because I didn't make them work, and so but the list is it's pretty long. It's like I think it started off with drop shipping. Then I was trying to like sell coaching and then sell my own or sell affiliate products and then like combine the two. Then I was closing sales. Then I took a year break from all online business because I needed to really like work on myself. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Uh, and then came back in 2021 and was closing sales and doing sales for another company and really like solidified my mindset in that year off and was able to like start generating results like the last 6 months that I was closing sales. um I brought in 120,000 in revenue for the company that I was working with. Of course that wasn't all in my pocket because the commissions weren't the best, but then I saw like, okay, I can like get some results and left there to do my own thing. And
Mhm.
and here we are.
Here we are, man. And you touched on something interesting there. You said there was a bunch of things that didn't work, right? And I've seen Ron killing it before. I've kind of done it myself. And both of us have been through similar journeys where we end up crashing things back down. So like what what would you say was like the main thing that you had to kind of overcome to kind of, get through that? Because what I see is a lot of people who are typically they see online, these people are doing well, they've had it amazing, but typically the people you see doing well, they do typically have these stories of, going through all of this kind of bullshit and overcoming it to come out the other end and actually do something good with the information that they've learned from that. You know what I mean? So, do you want to dive a little bit deeper into that, Ron? Let us know kind of like your thought process on how you overcame that.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I think like if I had to boil it down to just like one specific thing, that one thing, at least for me, and it's what I see in a lot of other people too, was self-sabotage. And now the reasons why self-sabotage like come up, and the reasons why like we tend to do this as human beings, may look different from like each different perspective for each person. But ultimately, like self-sabotage, like when you get down to like the root of it, it's like an identity shift crisis. And so what I mean by that is um I start taking an action. Let me give you an example, right? Um so back when I was focusing on doing affiliate marketing, I was learning how to build, marketing funnels and email sequences and all this stuff so that I can get sales without ever having to talk to somebody. And because I was like, oh, I don't want to have to speak with people. I'd rather just go to my website and I get some sales. And through that process, I met a business owner offline who really wanted a marketing funnel for his business. And so we were chatting and we got on the phone. This is somebody who I met in my local area back when I was in LA. And I showed him like what I can build and what I can do. And I really like gave him a demo. I didn't even know that's what I was doing. And then we chatted a couple days later on the phone and he said he wanted me to build a funnel for him. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, well, how much would it be? And I was just like, $1,000. And then I just like got quiet and this is like my first sales call ever. And didn't even know I was doing a sales call. And he was like, okay. And then he paid me and then I built the funnel for him. And 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 the whole time I was building the funnel, I was like, oh, I just want to hurry up and get this done. I wasn't concerned about the results he was going to get. I was like, let me just like do this project for this guy so I can get back to what I'm doing with my affiliate marketing. And like this is like one form of self-sabotage, because it's like, was I making like $1,000 like that easily from my affiliate marketing? No. But I'm like, oh, I need to like finish this so I can get back to the thing that's not really working that great for me right now. Instead of looking at it like, whoa, like I didn't even know this guy 5 days ago, and he just paid me $1,000 to do this thing. Like, how can I do this again? How
Mm,
can I rinse and repeat this? I didn't even think about that. And so, and the reason being is because I had this idea, this story in my mind of who I am and who I'm trying to grow into, and what I was doing, this side project didn't fit into that story. And so because it didn't fit into that story, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Um, like I didn't do the work that great. He didn't get results with the funnel, just full disclaimer. And so he didn't even get a return on the investment. At least I don't think so. And then I went back to what I was doing after that, instead of like trying to get better and look at like why he didn't really get results, keep working with him until he did, then try to get more clients for that type of offer. And so ultimately, like whenever we self-sabotage, um, what's really going on is I may find some success with something, and then that success leads me to the edge of my comfort zone. It leads me to in my comfort zone is it's simply just all the things that I do on a consistent basis that I'm like used to doing pretty much. And it leads me right to the edge of that. And if I go beyond the edge of my comfort zone, um then I might grow into this person that I don't perceive myself as. And and so unconsciously I may do things that stop that growth from happening, because I haven't like visualized in my mind of who I'm going to be growing into, and gotten to the point where I feel not only just like comfortable with that, but I feel energized by that. Like I feel empowered. I feel good about this person that I'm growing into. Um, and and this happens in so many forms where it's like maybe I feel like I'm not good enough to do XYZ, but I still like really want to do it. And that's when we find ourselves like exerting a lot of energy to try to get some result. And it seems like we're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing that are actually getting the results. But for whatever reason, it's not really working for us.
mm.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And like you touched on something very important there as well, because you say, you're not like kind of like visualizing yourself, kind of, being the person that you want to be, this, that, and the other. And in my story of self-sabotage, I have a morning formula. I know yours is slightly different, so we're going to touch on that, in a minute. I have a morning routine that I basically go through. And whenever I'm doing well, I have exactly what it is that I want, mapped out, have these positive affirmations that, I kind of say to myself. I feel the emotion of it. And whenever I'm doing these things, um it really kind of solidifies what I want to do in my mind. But then there's times when I don't do that, and that's when things typically start to spiral. But it's a little bit bigger than just not doing that kind of morning formula, because especially if you're working on somewhere like Facebook, there is so much crap, so much noise, so much stuff that you're feeding into your brain. I literally just recently just got a little hack from one of my friends who's been in the industry for 14 years. He's like, bro, I can tell you're listening to some stupid people. Just go and unfollow all the people that are making noise. And now Facebook is such a nice place for me to be. Whereas before, I absolutely hated being on the platform. Right? It's one of the reasons why I don't watch news. It's one of those sayings like, if you tell yourself a lie enough times, you'll start to believe it. And that is such a true statement. So yeah, like, yeah, what do you do to kind of overcome, the crap? Because you're working on Facebook too, so I know you see it. Like, how do you kind of filter through all of that stuff, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like like number one, you said something really important just now. And and you said that if I tell myself a lie, or if we tell ourselves a lie enough times, we start to believe it. And the way that I look at things is like, even the things that we've heard many times and that we tell ourselves that we need to do to be able to be successful, those are all only true because we believe them, including morning formulas, including like this, it includes everything, right?
Mm,
So and just because I know that, does that mean that I'm immune to that? Like, no, that's the human condition, right? And so I personally have the belief that like for me, it doesn't really matter what anybody else is saying. Like I know where I want to go and what I want to do. And I also know that this was a big turning point for me understanding this. And that's that the way that I'm going to get to where I want to go most likely does not look like the path there does not look like whatever I have in my mind right now.
That's so true,
And
man.
so and so and that was like hard to come to terms with and to be able to like accept that and be not only accept it but be okay with that. Because what happens when I'm not okay with that, I close myself off to opportunities and and to things that show up in my day-to-day experience. And so and the way that I really like kind of developed that was through uh like my experience in recovery and coming out of like active addiction, because it's really like the same thing. Like we use these principles to like shift our life or transform our life, not just our business, like any part of our life. And um and so that was another one of the things that was holding me back years ago. And so when I took that year off, that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, let me just like figure out how to like get sober and stay sober and like just work a regular job that I know I don't like, um so that I can like pay the bills and really just focus on myself. And and through that process I know that I'm going to come out a different person, that it's going to be able to achieve all the things that I was trying to achieve before without burning it all down.
Mm,
And and so and in that process that's where I really learned to like trust or have faith in something that I can't even see, that things are going to work out in a way that I don't even know. um and that's what's going to lead me to like where I want to be in life. And I had to see that working multiple times just in my life in general with the people that were coming into my life that were helping me with this number one goal of like getting sober and staying sober. And um and and I like there was just too many quote unquote coincidences that were happening, um to make that happen, where it became like clearly evident that like at least to me that like something, the universe or whatever, my higher self is like kind of guiding me along this journey and giving me exactly what I need to be able to be successful in whatever it is that I do. And and really that's just a belief that I have now, right? Those are experiences that I saw and my confirmation bias is working and I'm like, okay, yeah, so the universe is like providing me everything that I need. And it's a lot more solid than me doing morning affirmations where I'm like telling myself that and I have no evidence to like to like look back on or to feel it. So it's like now that's something that I just know is happening. And that's like when you know that a belief is solidified, you just know it. And and so I take that same belief like with me everywhere that I go when it comes to the online space, um when it comes to like marketers online, people that are making like noise online. Like I don't even really see it. Like it's there in front of my screen, but I don't feel like it infiltrates. Like I see that and I think like I see what they're doing or how I might be able to help them or how they can shift things to like make them work better. And
mm,
then I like laugh about it and then like keep scrolling looking for my ideal clients if that's what I'm on there doing. And but also I don't watch the news or anything like that either. Just like you said. But when it comes to like my morning routine, just like circling back to like the original question, um my morning routines are very flexible. Like today, I slept in a little bit. I got up, like very contrary to what entrepreneurs like are like, oh, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and like grind your face off and like run around the house 3 times, jump in the swimming pool, get in the ice bath, um, drink some bulletproof coffee and then start work. I got up, um, used the restroom, got some coffee, chilled for about 30 minutes, drank my coffee, then I just started replying to people on Facebook Messenger, people that, you know, reached out over the evening or late last night, and then here we are.
Mm. So I just want to touch on something you just said there because it's so interesting. You said that like you know you went through active addictions, you took like a year off. I went through a similar journey myself, right? And it was quite interesting because over that year when I wasn't really kind of doing a lot, it's probably been my biggest year of personal growth. And like you said, I had to kind of go through that to come out the other end a better person. But yeah, it's just interesting how everything unfolds as well because for me it was bigger than that as well. It's like you say, entrepreneurs, they say you got to do these morning routines, you got to do this, you got to do that, and that was my mindset. I was just, you know, work. I'll be up at 4 a.m. I'll be doing all this, and ultimately I wasn't making time for the things that were important to me, family, you know, a bit of play, enjoying myself, which kind of led to burnout, which is absolutely huge in the online space, right? At the end of the day, we're only human. You have to make time for yourself to enjoy yourself, this, that, and the other. So now I've kind of been through that process of, you know, burning myself out, taking time off, coming back, you know, with a fresh mindset. It's like I'm okay with waking up an hour late if that happens, you know. It's like you have to learn to be okay with that stuff, and like you say, that's why you're that I think that's why you're flexible with your morning routine, because I'm a bit flexible with my life right now, and I make sure that I'm, you know, you probably see a lot online, I'm at the gym, you know, boxing like 5 6 days a week because it's something that I absolutely love doing. um and it's like it's one of those things you even see people, you know, people that are doing really well, like kind of like guys like Sam Ovens, who even are still to this day been in the industry for like 10 years and they're still burning out. It's like, you know, I'm not enjoying it. You know what I mean? What's the point in me doing it if I don't enjoy it? And there's so much fluff out there which tells you you have to be up at, you know, 4 a.m. You have to do this, you have to do that. But ultimately, it does just lead to burnout if you don't make time for the things that are actually important. So taking a step back, and I think it's when you take a step back and your brain's not so clouded with all of this woo-woo stuff, you start to connect the dots of the things that you actually need in order to grow into the person and achieve the goal that you actually want, the long-term goal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And you said something like super important, like, man, I remember being in that same space where it's like I'd see all these posts about like all these morning routines, like the millionaire formula for success morning and like different variations of that. And when I wasn't getting any results with what I was doing, I would see that and I would inherently just like feel like, oh, like shit, I'm not doing that stuff. And that's why I'm not like getting results. And and it's like now when I see that I just laugh because I'm like, that's not why you're not getting results. Like the last thing that I mean, really, like my journey, I'm grateful for all of it because it led me to this realization now. But because I did that, like before I was like generating revenue with anything, I was like, let me go ahead and get an Aura ring, monitor my sleep, eat super clean, super healthy. I'm gonna run this many miles every day. Like everything that has nothing to do, like that stuff will optimize your revenue, but it has nothing to do with generating revenue in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no, you're not having success because you're not focusing on revenue generating activities.
100%. I'm
Period.
going to just tell you something that the Aura Ring did to me. It was absolutely amazing. I'm kind of pissed off now because it doesn't fit my finger anymore. I've lost 5 stones. My finger's too skinny to fit it on. But
Mm.
the Aura Ring, again, you know, this is something I purchased, and I had to use another spreadsheet to log the data from the mentor who taught me. And that just overloaded my brain. I had a spreadsheet for Facebook Organic, I had a spreadsheet for this, I had a spreadsheet for that, and I had a fucking another one for the bloody Aura Ring. It just pissed me off. It just overloaded my brain with too much data, basically. So yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm still here trying to do all of these different fucking routines, and it had a reverse effect. So yeah, man, you got to be so careful. But sometimes you got to go through that process to come out the other end winning, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And now I feel like implementing some of these optimization like techniques that I learned just like a couple years ago, like yeah, they would be helpful now. Um, because it's optimizing something that I'm already doing. Like and just like you said, like I'm very particular with my time now. Like if somebody would message me saying, "Hey, like I'm open to getting on a call right now," and it's like 10 p.m., like I'd be like, we're doing it right now. Like I'd be like sending them a Zoom link and like basically sacrificing everything else that I have to be able to try to do this thing. And really what that led to, and I was in that state for like a couple years, and what that led to was I wasn't like just letting go of relationships and things that I love. Like I literally didn't even have them. It
Mm,
was like it was like all I would do was I would work my day job that I had and just think about online business the whole time. Get off of work, just like grind until like it would until I passed out pretty much. Then I'd wake up and do the same thing. And my days off from my day job, it was like 12-hour days. But those 12-hour it wasn't all revenue generating activities. It was all this other stuff like mixed in. Like, all right, I gotta optimize my sleep. I gotta like read these different ebooks on success, and I like watch this webinar. Okay, now I'm gonna try this tactic, then I'd switch, try this tactic. And like now, um all I do is focus on revenue generating activities, results for the people that I'm working with, and that's in like an 8 to 9 hour window, Monday through Friday. Like once it's after like 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm like, nope, the laptop is closed.
hmm
I'm like, there's no notifications for Facebook Messenger on my phone. So if you're messaging me, I'm not seeing it until I come back on at 9 in the morning the next day. And that's just what it is because I got I have a girlfriend that I love spending time with in recovery, so I go to meetings. I have people that I sponsor and like help get sober, um and that's just like stuff that I'm doing in my quote unquote off time. I love skateboarding, so I do that as much as possible. It's a little hard to do in the wintertime because by the time I get done working it's a little dark, but sometimes I'll take some time off before it gets dark and go hit the skate park during the week. But love doing that on the weekends, like going camping, like hiking,
mm,
like staying close with my family. They live about an hour away from where I stay. These are all things that are super important to me, and if I'm not doing them, um it's like I'm doing this business to be able to help other people, right? But also like to help myself and to help the other people that are around me.
hmm
And if I'm like letting those relationships go for the sake of growing this business so that I can help, it's like, dude, that's totally counterintuitive, and it definitely leads to burnout for sure.
100%, 100%. It's kind of interesting because, like, yeah, like we were touching back on what we were talking about earlier about, like the things that you let into your brain. Sometimes, for my story in particular, it was a lot of the people that were really close to me that was having a lot of like negative influences. So it wasn't so much like things that were I was seeing on Facebook that were affecting me. It was people as I was taking this time off and going through my own battles. It was these people drumming stuff into my ears, trying to educate me on a business model that they actually know nothing about, um, which kind of had a reverse effect. So yeah, what would you? Because I know this is something that's really common, not just for me, just amongst entrepreneurs. Yeah, I'm Ron, you're there smirking. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
what would you recommend to somebody that's kind of going through that? Because I know a lot of people go through it from family members who just don't get what it is that they're trying to build. But like you said, once they get it going, it's actually a business model that helps tons and tons of people, including the people that are closest to you.
Yeah, so this is a this is a super important topic because it's anybody who's doing anything online, they're gonna feel this or relate to it because I get super excited about what it is that I'm doing and these new goals that I have set, and that I'm going to go out and accomplish all this, and it's going to affect all of you guys around me. So I want to tell all you guys about it. And then the feedback that I get is that level of excitement is not reciprocated. And I'm like, what? And like, how do you not get this? How do you not like? And so like in particular, like with like my family, like my dad, he's really old school. And so for him, it's like like in his mind, like keep in mind that everybody's version of what success is different, including the people around you. And so in his mind, success for him would be like getting a good job with good benefits, and staying there for however many years until you retire. And I can see that that's something that he didn't do. Like he switched jobs and ended up not getting a good retirement that he really wanted. And so the thing that he kind of missed out on is what he really wants for me, because in his mind that's what success is.
Mm,
And so the risk of not having like like a retirement and social security and all that other stuff, like when I get older, he's like, that's just what he harps on me about whenever I talk about business stuff. And especially when I wasn't successful with it, right? When I wasn't really making money and like, and especially when I'm like, I'm quitting my job and I'm doing this full time, I'm thinking that there's going to be like a celebration, that people are going to like pop out of the closet and say congratulations, and there's going to be a surprise party, because that's how I feel. But they're like, whoa, this feels risky, and not everybody wants that level of risk that we have and that we kind of are willing to take on as entrepreneurs. And so the people who don't align with that, of course they're going to feel like, whoa, like, and if they care about you, they're going to say something. So this is really contradictory for us, because we want the people that we care about and that care about us to just support us through this. And in their way, they actually are like trying to support us, because they see the risk and they're like, it's like if you have a kid and you see your kid is about to trip and fall, you don't want to let them. You want to be like, hey, stop, like watch
mm,
out for like whatever that is you're about to trip on. And so that's really like what they're doing. That's the way that I look at it now. And so now I see that as like, okay, this is coming from a place of love, but they don't really understand. So I don't really talk to them about business anymore
mm.
unless they ask directly. Then it's like, then I'll tell them, I'll answer their question, but I won't like word vomit my business stuff all over them. Because I did that and I didn't get the level of reciprocation that I was expecting, and it did affect my mindset and affected how I showed up. And so now I've come to terms with the fact that my vision was given to me and not to them,
Mhm.
and they'll get to see it um when it's built.
Yeah, and that's the difficult bit for me as well, because my family are exactly the same. What I mean, they come from a good place, but they just they don't have the same vision that we have. They don't see what we're building. But the difference with me, I don't go and try and spew my stuff onto them because I already know what the response is. I get the earache from them. So for me, it's like temporarily I just got to distance myself from it. You know what I mean? Do my thing. And honestly, I'm in such a better headspace from not having what I class as an earache all the time. It's difficult, especially when it's somebody that you live with, because I've had that in the past as well. You can't just distance yourself from it. But yeah, it's a it's an upward battle, and it's different for everyone as well. So I guess there's no one size fits all. But yeah, it's been really good kind of like getting you on here today, Ron. We've touched on some interesting topics. Um, yeah, for anyone
Yeah.
that kind of wants to follow you, yeah, what exactly is it you're doing right now, and where can people kind of find you online?
Yeah, sure. So I actually just partnered with an old friend that and anybody that watches this consistently might have seen him on here. But partnered with Tyga Rush. And what we're doing is we're really just helping everyday people learn how to make money and passive income online. Um, and so Tyga went off into the coaching space for a while. I was like in the coaching space and working with another coaching company. And so really got to see from the inside how like these bigger businesses operate, at least bigger businesses in the online space. And when we got started with affiliate marketing and wanting to like be able to have passive income come in. And so and by passive income I don't mean that you just don't do anything, and then there's money, but being able to like do work that's leveraged over time, where you do work once and you get the result multiple times,
Mhm.
and it compounds and expands over time as you continue to do it. And so we just took everything that we've learned in our separate experiences in these different industries, and then brought them back to affiliate marketing, where we're basically like helping people get their YouTube channels monetized, get their videos um, basically so that their videos are getting in front of the right people and that their videos are converting and they're getting multiple streams of income coming in from that channel through ads, through different products that they're promoting. But we're also working with some people that have their own product as well, because like if they already have a coaching offer or some sort of offer, we could still couple that with other like affiliate recommendations and still be able to get people into the doors of this offer without having to like go talk with the people every day. Because that's the thing. It's like once you have like a high ticket offer or you're selling somebody else's, you can get people in by like just chatting with like 100 people every day online, which I know that you're fully aware of that process, Andy.
Yeah.
And or you could set up a system so that those people are coming to you. And in the beginning, if you want to drive revenue fast, you do both. And so that's really what we're helping people do, but really aiming at helping like everyday people who are just starting, or people who are in the same space that I just described that I was in a couple years ago. They're trying a lot of different things. None of it's really working out. And they don't really know why. So that we can get a solid system in place and give them like the proper coaching that they need to be able to consistently move forward and craft their vision and execute and not focus on the things that don't really matter. But ultimately, the best place to find me, you could connect with me on Facebook. I mean, I'm always there as long as it's 9 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you send me a message, I'll be responding. If you send me a message over the weekend, you might have to wait till Monday just because I protect my time. But we got a Facebook group as well. I'll shoot you the links for all this stuff. So yeah, me and Tiger, we got a Facebook group. There's my Facebook profile, my YouTube channel, and we also have some free training, free 4-day course on how to get started with affiliate marketing and how to really get some results. And so I'll shoot that over to you as well.
Awesome. All right, so thanks for jumping on, Ron. You know, we touched on some amazing stuff, and yeah, man, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Awesome. Appreciate